welcome back to Code with Edward. In this video, we are going to look deeper into the basic syntax and structure of a C program. We will cover essential components like headers, main functions, data types, and more. By the end of this video, you will have a solid understanding of how to structure your own C programs. So let's do it right away. So first, let's start with a quick recap of our Hello World program from the last video, since it's a great example of basic syntax. So here is the code we wrote in the last video. So we have the header file, and that is this include Studio H, which gives us access to the input and output functions. So the int main is our main function, printf for printing text, and return 0 to signal successful execution. Now let's go to a bit deeper into what each part means and look at some additional syntax. So let's talk about header files in more details. In C, header files contain code that we can reuse, like functions and definitions. When we write #include studio, we are telling the compiler to use the standard input-output library, which provides functions like printf. So we have so many libraries out there. There are so many libraries, each providing different functionality. For example, the #include math, for example this. So this gives us access to the math functions. As we go through this series, as we go through this playlist, you will see how different header files expand and how we can use them. So now let's revisit our int main. So this is where every C program starts. The instructions inside the main are the ones that are going to be executed first, okay? So in C, every section or statement must end with a semicolon. This lets the compiler know that that particular line is complete. For example, in this program, you can see at every end of the line we have a semicolon. So this tells the compiler that that line is done, that code is done. So if you forget a semicolon, you'll get an error. Let me say we delete this and then we try to run our code. You see we have an error inside the terminal. So you shouldn't forget the semicolon when you're writing a C program. So next, let's dive into data types in C. And in C, data types tell the program what kind of data it's working with. Common data types include the int for integers, then float for decimal numbers, and char for characters, okay? Then let's look at a few examples, and we want to declare an integer. So we can write int number. So it is int number, then we assign a certain value to a variable. Then for a floating point number, we would use float, and then our variable, let it be p, and we assign it a variable to be 3.1. We assign it a value to be 3.14. Then for character we use this, and then our character we give it a variable called letter, and then for letter we assign it a value a. We put our semicolon to terminate. So these data types allow us to store different kinds of information in our program. So each data type uses a different amount of memory. For example, int usually takes 4 bytes of memory, while float takes 4 bytes as well, but with a different format. Understanding data types and memory usage will help you write efficient programs. So now that we have variables, let's look at how we can print them. Printf is really flexible and allows us to display variables. We just use format specifiers to indicate the type of data we are printing. So for example, we have this. I'll first comment out these lines. So we have int number, and that is its variable is 5. So we want to print this, so you come down here and then you say please print f, and then inside our brackets we will say the number is, then the number is this. Okay, so outside our double quotes we call our variable is number, and then we terminate. So here the percentage %d is a placeholder for an integer. So when you run this code, the printf will replace %d with the value of the number, which is 5. So we will use %g for integers, and then for floats we use %f, and for characters we use %c. So let's talk about comments. Okay? So comments are notes you add to your code to explain what it's doing. Okay? So they are ignored by the compiler and they are not executed. Okay? So they do not affect how the program runs. In C, you can write signal line comments with these 2 slashes like you've seen there. And then for multiple line comments we use, so let me say I want to comment out the whole program. Okay, so at the beginning here we put this slash, and then we put this star. So if I want to comment that line, I'll come at the end here and then add this and this. So all the program is commented out. So that's how we add comments in C. And thank you for watching this video. That is for today on the basic syntax and structure of a C program. So today we explored header files, the main function, data types, and more. So you are now ready to start writing programs with variables, comments, and even formatted output. Thank you for watching Code with Edward. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you do not miss out the next video.